Defensive coordinator Gregg Williams of the New Orleans Saints is obviously under fire today after it was discovered in an NFL investigation that he took part and ran a bounty system in New Orleans, and that it dates back all the way to his days with the Washington Redskins. This is a huge, huge problem in the NFL, especially with Roger Goodell taking these precautions and these steps towards protecting the players that much more in 2012. I want to read you a few lines from a Chicago Sun-Times report on the bounty system that Gregg Williams ran as defensive coordinator. Williams' acknowledgement of the bounty program came after an NFL investigation revealed Williams not only initiated the bounties, but the Saints refused to abolish the practice when owner Tom Benson ordered it stopped. It was a terrible mistake, and we knew we were wrong while we were doing it, said Williams. Right there, when the owner even knows about it, obviously it's a problem and you must stop. But yet it continued. He endorses late hits on quarterbacks, calling them remember me shots that will pay off later in the game or somewhere down the road. And he tactfully, if not overtly, encourages dirty play by absolving his players of personal foul penalties, many of which result in fines. So these remember me shots would be ones that players would get compensated for taking out a player on the opposing team. There were even payments for putting guys on stretchers. A former defensive back, Matt Bowen, who writes for the Chicago Tribune, played for Gregg Williams, says he was one of the best coaches and motivators he had, but admitted to taking part in these sorts of antics and these sorts of payments for injuring opposing players in his days as a Washington Redskin. We targeted big names, our sights set on taking them out of the game. Price tags started low during the regular season, a couple $100 for going after the quarterback hard or taking a running back out below the knees. Chop him down and give him a quick smile when you get back to the huddle. You just got a bonus. We're going to live on the edge and get after the quarterback, and we're not going to change, Williams said after Saints defensive players were called for a personal foul, roughing the passer, and taunting in a victory over the Carolina Panthers, including a blatant cheap shot by Roman Harper after Steve Smith scored on a 54-yard touchdown pass. We're going to go down swinging. Roman Harper was fined $22,500 for 2 incidents against the Tennessee Titans. He tackled wide receiver Damian Williams by pulling him down by the face mask and helmet after a 54-yard gain. I love Roman Harper, Gregg Williams said regarding Harper's takedown of Damian Williams. That's just too bad on their part. If that guy don't want his head tore off, then duck, because that's how we're playing. Little did people know that there was the bounty system taking place during these games and that he meant it literally. Yet the bounty system allowed over 400 yards of offense, 41 points against the Seattle Seahawks in 2010. Last season, they were ranked 26th in total yards. So my closing comments on this bounty system that is taking place, I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that, yes, the Saints won the Super Bowl. That's okay. That's fine. They won the Super Bowl. Let's get past that, because there's clearly no winner if you vacate that year's winner or if you hand it down to who lost the Super Bowl. That's never going to happen. But with Roger Goodell trying to enforce player safety first, and the NFLPA not wanting more Dave Dursons dying at the age of 50, it must take place this year that Roger Goodell bans Gregg Williams, in my personal opinion, for life. Now here's a situation that I want you to understand that I'm trying to say. With these sorts of bounty systems, players could be hurt enormously. They have families. They have kids. A lot of these players, if they're taken off on stretchers, it's a problem. Let me give you a hypothetical. What if a player had received such a bad hit from a Gregg Williams defense and a defender that he's a vegetable now in the hospital? What if that player actually died that day on the football field? I'm not trying to be too overly liberal, but it's just my opinion that he should not be able to coach another game in the NFL. He facilitated and let players injure other players to the extent that he would compensate them. This is an enormous problem in the NFL. Roger Goodell needs to come down hard on this guy and put an end to it. Let's put the safety of human beings first. Let's try to save lives before we ruin them.